so today we're going to talk about the midpoint formula, which finds the exact middle between 2 points, in other words, a line segment, where you're just going to take the average values of the x coordinates and the average value of the y coordinate, and that is going to give you your midpoint, as I have sketched out over there on the left. Now, let's say you have this. Find the midpoint between 5, 3 and 1, negative 2. So we have our formula. We simply need to identify which coordinate is which. Typically, the smallest x value coordinate is the first point, point 1, denoted by the subscripts 1. However, since we are taking an average, you don't necessarily have to. However, this does make it a lot easier to figure out in your head. So that would make 1, negative 2, x1, y1, and 5, 3, x2, y2. So we would get 1 plus 5 over 2 as our x coordinate, and 3 minus 2, so 3 plus negative 2, or negative 2 plus 3 over 2 as our y coordinate. As you can tell, we don't necessarily write out a formula per se. It's more like a point where you're plugging in values and then you just simplify. So we would get our midpoint to be 3, 1/2, which, what does this look like exactly? Well, if we take a coordinate plane and we say, well, our points are 5, 3 and 1, negative 2. We're going to make the 1, negative 2 yellow and the 5, 3 that nice blue color. We'll connect those lines. Where do they intersect? At 3, 1/2. And that's going to be our midpoint, which, remember, this is a sketch. It's not to scale, but it's about right. It looks about right. So you can always sketch a graph to make sure what your midpoint is correct. Alright, so go ahead and try this problem, pause the video, and come back when you're ready. Okay, so it says find the value of A if the midpoint between the points 4, 7 and A3 is 9.55. So there's our formula. The question is, what are we going to do? Well, we can plug in values, but we're looking for A. We don't know A, so we need to start plugging in values and figuring out, well, what do we know, what do we don't know, and how are we going to figure out what we don't know. Now, A, as I said before, we don't know A. So we're going to fill out this formula. Alright, so 9.55 is my midpoint, so there's 9.55 equals, I'm going to label 4, 7, x1, y1, and A3, x2, y2. So we have 4 plus A over 2 as our x coordinate, and 7 plus 3 over 2 as our y coordinate. Now the y coordinate we know. We don't really need to worry about that. So we're just focusing on that 9.5, which is the x coordinate, which corresponds to 4 plus A over 2. So we're going to say 9.5 equals 4 plus A over 2, and at this point we're just going to do basic algebra to find out what A is. So 9.5 times 2 is 19, equals 4 plus A. A is going to equal 15, so the point is going to be 15, 3. Thank you for watching. Hope this helped.